Let's see if we can. Sort out this, which is decided to be a pain. Why doesn't that surprise me? Excellent. Let's see if we can pick you up that way. That way. Excellent. Now I can see where we're up to. Hi Jan. Hi Sue. Sorry, Facebook was being just a little bit of a pain. I won't be able to share that from there, but that's okay because that's always already a shared module. Oh, it's not very warm, ladies, at all. So if you could just confirm that you can see and hear me okay. I know you can certainly see me because I can see that. So the hearing. Thank you very much, Sue. That's lovely. Good afternoon, Jan. Hi, Margaret. Good afternoon, Sarah. Hi, Jackie. Lovely to see you. Well, I am back from my break, and I have a wooden sleigh that I think came from, B&M Bargains, actually, is where it came from. It's on a bit of a tilt, which is what a proper sleigh should be, but that caused me a little bit of a headache, and husband's put these in for me, but then dropped the screw. So there we are. So this lights up rather beautifully. Not that we might be able to see that. So that's going to be the base, but before we tackle altering that, we're going to do some other bits and pieces, and I'm going to employ a bit of tape at some point to hold that together until I can find my screws. So there we are. We've got some bits and pieces, so let's just take this lot out, because some of these are going to need to have dried before I can do anything else. So that is just cool. Let's just take that, and let's start by just gluing that into place on there. So let's just grab some glue. The base is the snow globe from Stamperia, and I'm in the process of using up stuff that I've bought. There. I was out at a Christmas party last night with some friends that I go to the gym with, and so I was just a little bit busy. So let's just pop that onto there, give that a little bit of there, and let's just cover that with a bit of glue. I have a mixed media glue style, but actually it's Pentart glue. But that will give that an extra coating, and then that can sit over there to dry, and that can go there. So we've got my beloved houses to start with, and we've got some shades of blue, some shades of green. There we are, some bits and pieces which is going to go for simple decorating. I know it won't, my darling, it's a real pain, and it's a quandary. I'm happy for the quandary to be thought about by everyone. Do you want, if I set it up as a link, you'll get, as an event, you get notifications, and then you can click on the notification to go to, to go to my live, which is fine. But then, and that helps, I think, in terms of people finding it. But if I set it up as an event so that you know that I'm going live, I then have to think about, I could go live separately on my page, but then it doesn't link to the event, which then makes it long term much harder for people to find me. So I don't really know what the solution is. It's a bit of a headache, really. A bit of a headache. So these are the Stamperia little houses in the silicone mould, because I love them, and I cast a whole mountain of them, and for projects So we're using up stuff that I've precast because I don't like waste, and if I leave it they probably wouldn't. Mind you, having said that, these will work, I think, for all year round. These have already been primed with some gesso, so we're just going to keep this very, very simple. She says, well, that's the plan. Whether it comes off is another matter, but hey ho, that is the plan for today. Yeah. Yeah, Jam, please tell me how, because I would love to know. So I'm using a mixture of decor soft paints. I've also got some antique paints. Any form of paint that you have, acrylic based, will work when you're painting your resins if they've been primed with some gesso. So there we are. Let's just have a bit of a colour mix of these two colours together. We'll get a different tone in the process. We're going to keep it all simple. We can bring out the details. Yeah, I know lots of the detailed painting can sometimes just put people off. Much as I quite happily doing it, I am aware that it's not everyone's cup of tea. So being able to paint things in a more simple way is sometimes quite helpful. There we are. We'll just have a mix it all up. Some plain, some bit mixed. That's cool. And then we're going to bring out the details separately anyway, so that's also all cool. So lots of good range of sizes of little houses in this on these, which is also cool. So let's just make sure we've got those covered. There we are. Cool. Right, and then we'll clean the mucky mutts, because this is one. I absolutely love them, Deborah. Hi Liz, welcome my darling. Thank you for tagging Julie, Sarah. So it doesn't have a name, jacket, Crafty Jacks. It is the Stamperia mould that was released this year. It's a silicone mould. Let me grab it. Oh, maybe I can't grab it. No, I can't grab it because I've put Christmas stuff in one box and stuff that I think is all year round into another. So there we are. Let's just shuffle those. But there is only one silicone mould from Stamperia with houses on them. So I think you should be able to find. The rest of them are clear plastic moulds which have a place, but maybe not what you want. Let's just find some of these bits. Right. We're on the use up what we've got mode. So there we are. So these are antique paints, but you can use them in exactly the same way as you would any other paint, really. There we are. They're just nice colours. I'm not going to. We are going to be doing a bit of distressing, but I just thought we would keep our paint work today fairly simple. I'm conscious I've got a few bits, but it really won't take so very long to get these all painted if we're going for simple activities. There we are. Let's get into those nooks and crannies. These are also from one of this is from the silicone mode with the poinsettia in it. So I think it looks to me that Stamperia have decided perhaps to transition from the blown plastic moulds towards the silicone moulds, which are a bit more expensive, but oh, thank you, Jan. I'll try and remember that. As I haven't got 3 dots on mine, but there we are. But that is also very helpful. Lovely, lovely. Hello, Michelle. Welcome, my darling. Welcome. Sorry, I don't speak any French, but I'm thinking you're French from the words that you're in. No need to be sorry. No need to be sorry at all, at all, at all. Life is too short to be stressed about getting to lives on time. There are so many of them in the UK now that I think it's impossible for everyone to reach all of them all of the time. Life just gets in a way. But Yeah, if we can watch some of them and support the crafters, then that's cool. I'm aware that there are many companies now who are absolutely needing to go live to generate sales. Fortunately, I don't fit into that category, so I can support who I want, make what I want, and hopefully inspire you to get creating, not with what you have, not necessarily buying with stuff that you can't, that you know, building up your stash that's probably quite big enough as it is. So I'm more than happy to support UK companies selling any of these products I use. My intention really is partly selfish, and that is to give me a focus and a reason to get into my craft room and use what I have, because I've got a ridiculous amount of stuff, as we as lots of us have, and I could do with using some of it up. And going live means that I focus on getting projects off and done, and I enjoy the process, and I like the company, because I feel that I'm not then isolated in my crafty cabin. There we are. We need a smaller brush in there at the moment, but as we're going to be covering these separately. So these are this is just sort of a vintagey greeny colour. It's probably, well, it's called patina green, and as I say, it is an antiquing paint from Pentart. Don't stress if you can't get it, just use any acrylic paint that you have. I think it's so easy to get on the bandwagon of buy and thinking that you have to have everything that someone uses, and the reality of life is that there are lots of substitutes that you can use from, almost certainly from things that you have in your stash, and that's also quite an important activity. Have I got a red out? Well, that'll be a no. Who is a Wally? Who is a Wally? Let's just, we can grab a red though, that's not a problem. That really isn't a problem at all, at all, at all. There we are. Hi Natasha, no problem Dee, no problem. I'm glad to see that you have got yourself a lovely new pat. There we are, let's just grab that and open that. There we are. So that is the brown, dark brown, hardly dark brown is it? Antiquing paint, but it's quite a nice shade, and all of these are muted with a slightly grey undertone. And that's the whole intention, is to have a cohesive look. The paper I've chosen to work with has softer colours, definitely, although it has a red, it's not a bright vibrant red, so that's cool. There we are, let's just do this. And we can give these a little bit of a blast dry. Well, I don't think we'll be live for a ridiculous amount of time today, but you never quite know with me, do you? You never quite know. It could be. My live for Pentart next week is sorted. I know exactly what I'm doing with that. And then, well, I could ask the Crafty Hive what they think. I have one more live this year for Pentart, and then I have a live, their first live back on the 7th of January. And I've got some concepts and some plans, so, but I'm more than happy for people to suggest what they might like. I am aware that next year is the Chinese Year of the Dragon, and that starts on the 29th of is celebrated on the 29th of January. So certainly one of my makes next year is going to be related to the Year of the Dragon, I think, because that seems like a sensible plan to me. There we are. Let me just grab a red. Let's see if we can find one that isn't too bright. No, of course we can't find one that isn't bright. But there we are. It won't matter. There we are. Let's go for lipstick red. why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Let's just pick up a little bit. We won't need very much of that. Thank you, my darling. Thanking you, thanking you. Right, let's find a little brush. Little brush. And there we are. Let's just pick up these and we'll add some colours into here. So if we mix these with the green that's already on there, we'll end up with a muted shade which will serve the purpose. There we are. And we'll then tone them in to our make quite nicely, I think. There we are. So then they're not bright red, because the whole make is not going to be bright red, though it's definitely going to have a Christmassy feel. So I've done Santa's grotto, so what more perfect than Santa's sleigh? There we are. Might need to get that green out again in a minute. I can see an area that I have inconsiderately missed on there, so let me just give that a little bit of a wash. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a bright person, Deborah. Definitely do prefer the more muted. Let's just use that to shovel into the bits that we've missed. Again, not that that is going to matter long term, because we will be doing some extra bits with that. I know what I want to do before we do that. Let's just take that brown and then we can add some of this in. I do have a plan for altering the sleigh. There we are. So we can just add this. I know we don't need to do the bottom too much because it's not going to be hugely visible. There we are. So don't need to have that primed because it can just soak in, and the colour, base colour, is sort of approximating to the colour I'm adding anyway, so that's cool. Right, so let's just give these a wee bit of a blast dry and go from there. Where am I going? Where am I going? Who's that? There we are. So we just now need to give this lot all a good blast dry whilst we're waiting, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless I give them a good blast dry. So there we are. So I trust that everyone else is well. We need you. We might need you. We might need you. We might need you. There we are. Good. So yeah, I've just got a collection of stuff that I'm using because I have, but as I say, just use the acrylic paints in the colours that you like from the brands that you happen to have at home. You really don't need to go and buy everything from every brand that you have that exists. The same applies for ink pads, for spritzes, for sprays. All of these things are all, an acrylic paint is an acrylic paint. If you like the colour of it, get it. Get it. If you don't, just try mixing your own colours, because that will also work quite nicely. I'm wanting to layer some of these colours up, and that means I need the base layers to be dry. Hi Josephine, welcome my darling, thank you for joining us today. We'll have a play with John's suggestion, but not in the middle of my live. There we are. Because I've got currently running with two different sets of screens running. Hi Connie, welcome my darling. Oh, well, don't tell me about it. I thought I'd really lost the plot in the week when I went to watch someone's live and couldn't, that I knew was happening and couldn't find it. And I really don't want to go down the YouTube route. It means just another set of technology, and you know, at 62 I've had enough of changing what I do for something that's a hobby. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We'll get these as dry as we can, because antiquing and wiping back won't work very well if the top layers are not dry properly, because I'll just wipe back everything else. I could give them all a varnish to help protect the bottom there, but to be honest, life is too short. And acrylic paint, once it's dry, is reasonably robust, in spite of what everyone else might suggest. There we are. So, and we've got some waxes out. We've got all sorts out on our desk, to be fair. Let's just pop that over there, because that glue is still wet. That's the joy of working in a craft room that is red hot in the summer, so things dry really quickly, but really quite cold in the winter. You still see some of these have got wet areas, so patience is a virtue. Don't know that there's any other way of doing it. You just have to let your paints dry. And when they're surface dry and you take the heat gun away from them, there are times when they will come back up. So some of those look reasonable. So let's just pop that over there for the moment. But I'll tell you what, whilst the going is good, let's just take our snow globe base and sand off our paper. And I'm using paper, not a rice paper today, so it will take a bit more effort than the rice papers do, because it's just that bit thicker. But hey ho, got to have a Santa to sit on a sleigh. I get that it's not necessarily a standing setter, but this will work for purposes, because that's the joy of creative freedom, isn't it? Is that you can do your own thing. Hi Sheila. There we are. And if you can hear some strange noises, it's because my lovely window cleaner has arrived to clear the gutters out. Because after the storm, they're full. And we just need to get rid of what's there. Otherwise, the down pipes are going to drop. Will clog up, and then we'll have water spilling over where we don't want it. There we are. Let's get rid of that. So, what would people like me to do over Christmas? Last year I did live Christmas Eve and I think Christmas Day and Boxing Day. I'm up for that. We might do something seasonal, we might do something completely unseasonal. What would you like? Would it help to have some company on those days at my usual sorts of times? I might go earlier on Christmas Day because my daughter is condescending to spend some time with me at Christmas. I know. She normally goes and stays with her boyfriend's parents, but anyway. So this is a vintage patina from Stamperia. It's an Anthony's colour, and this is the dark blue. So there we are. Let's just, so that's going to sit in the background, and we can wipe that off. So some of these I'm going to, so this is like the Pentart antiquing gels, except that Pentart have bright blues and that isn't the right tone for this project. Hello Anna, welcome, welcome. So there we are, we'll just add that dark blue onto there. That will fill in lots of things and just bring back in some detail. Some of these we're going, oh dear, that wasn't wet, that wasn't completely dry, so let me just give that a little bit better of a blast. I can see that that wasn't dry. Never a good idea. So there we are, let's just come back to that one and let's add some on that one as well, and then we'll swap to a different colour. There we are. As I say, this is about mix and matching and using what you have, and there we are. There we are, that just adds an extra tone of colour into there. We might add, well, we will be adding some dry brushing too, so that's okay, but those will need to dry first. There we are. So that looks better, that looks better. Let's just get rid of that and let's add some white antiquing gel to some of these. If you've got the white vintage patina from Stamperia, use that. That is exactly the same stuff, just in a tube. There we are. Let's just get that out of the way. Let's just soften that one. Perhaps we might just grab a clean baby one at this point. No, Caroline, it's no. I almost never use kits, my darling. I have a sleigh from B&M Bargain, so a cheap wooden sleigh that looks a bit rustic, and we're going to alter that. These are Stamperia moulds that I've cast with Pentart's super resin, rapid resin, to give me some embellishments, and then I've just got a piece of Stamperia paper. So the kits are all very lovely if they have everything in them. I rarely make up kits nowadays, but they're certainly a great place to when you're starting to learn about things. There we are. Let me just, I'm going to pop that and go back to that dark blue on that other house, just to mix things up. So all of these pieces can be purchased individually as moulds or made up, supporting lots of different craft stores along the process. There we are. And using stuff up that you may already have in your stash, because I think quite a lot of us end up with product. I'm going to throw the lid on the floor multiple times and drop it because it makes for great viewing. Not. There we are. Okay. There is a grey vintage patina that would also work quite nicely, I think. But there we are. So that can go onto there, that can go into there. The house moulds are just beautiful. Stamperia have produced so many different house moulds, and you think, do I really need another one? And the answer, of course, is absolutely you need another one. Why wouldn't you need another house mould? There we are. So this is grey vintage patina. Again, you could mix this by taking the Pentart black and white and mixing them together. but I am definitely on a mission to use products up that I have in my stash that actually I know quite a lot of people will have in the stash, and actually because there's almost no inspiration being used with them at the moment, hopefully by using them it'll encourage you to use what you've got. There we are. And as long as I don't let this dry on here, I will be able to wipe back and bring back the brown colour of those quite happily. And now I have lost a lid, but there we, oh no, I haven't lost a lid. There we are. Okay, let's just wipe that off. Hi Glynis. You're welcome, Caroline. You ask away. There's no point in you watching a live and wanting to learn or be inspired and not actually asking questions if there's something I'm doing that makes no sense. I've sort of defeated the purpose if I've allowed that to happen. There we are. But this antiquing process really does allow you to paint fairly quickly and add in the details in quite a simple way. It definitely adds low lights in to your pieces. I look forward to seeing what you're going to make with them then. So this is the cream green antiquing paint. Now then, let us see what we can find. So let me just knock off a lot of that, because I'm just going to add some dry brushing onto here. We're not going for complex, that's for certain today. Though having said that, we will still have, I think, quite a lot of detail in the piece. So that bottom piece, I don't know why I'm doing that bottom piece, just for completeness, I think, because I know it's not going to be visible. Right, let us now scribble that into there. I think you've just painted all of that colour. Well, that's fine. So I'm now just using that paint as I would an antiquing paint, an antiquing gel. There we are. The key to this is, again, like the antiquing gels, cover everything up, but you definitely need to be wiping this back when it is wet. Although the antiquing paints, if you squirt them with some water, will lift more easily. I want it in the nooks and the crannies, into there. There we are. Cover a multitude of sins. Don't want the dark green to come off. You can see that now I'm getting all of that detail back into there, and we're just adding an extra layer of detail in the process. So which mould are you hoping for of the house moulds, Joan? Because I know that there's one, there's obviously the silicone one that I'm using, and there's the house mould from last year that was re-released that I think some companies have got back in, which is rather lovely. And then there's also some houses in the Art of Travelling collection, and horror of horrors, don't all faint, I haven't bought it. I just decided I had enough, and different shapes. Oh, and there's also the mould that comes with the snow collection from last year as well. So let's just pop that over there. but yeah, from the sea collection with the sea houses. So I love the like antiquing gels. These are some of these are actually the antiquing paints I'm using in a very similar way. And if you like antiquing products, shh, I'm not allowed to say this. Shh, 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 shh. Naughty, naughty me, naughty me. But watch this space for the end of January. Hello Vicarina, I'm very well my darling. I had a lovely break and I have to be fair and say I've actually struggled to find my crafty mojo since I've been back. I know, who would have thought, but we have. But this is just such an easy way of adding lots of detail in to your pieces relatively simply. Combination of the antiquing to fill in, you know, add some depth into your pieces, and then also some dry brushing to highlight the surface details really does make for a great combo of things. Right, now then, let's put that in there, let's pop that in there, let's do that. Let's pop that over there and let's clear that red paint that I've got there up before I squish it over anything and everything. Right, let's just pop that in. We do have some dry brushing to do. We're going to keep him relatively simple, so let's just add this onto the front of here. There we are. I'll give that some time to. Right, so that's just the Pentart Express glue because it's my preferred glue, but again, you do you. Don't be worried about it. Use the cheap, use the glue that you've got. If you can't, there we are. So Santa is sitting there. Let's just squash that so it works. There we are. That can go there. Yeah, I think the sea ones have almost got a Tudor feel as opposed to a Dutch house feel. She says, having dropped that in there. Let's just get that over there. Look at the state of my hands. Look at the state of my hands. Right. Let me give those all a bit of a blast. Actually, let's just leave those to dry naturally. While I find what I did with me. There we are. We can shovel over there. Shovel over there. Let's clear that space. Let's clear that space. Let's pop that over there. Right. One wooden sleigh. I suppose I could take all of this lot off, but hey ho. So this is what happens when hubby, who has a shake, drops the piece that you needed. There we are. Well, that's okay. We'll just hook it over there, and we'll just grab a bit of tape to put around there temporarily until I find the correct piece for it. I'll find a screw, but for that I have to tidy up. Yeah, tidy up. Yes, well, it will happen in my dreams. It will happen in my dreams. So let's just pop that round there for the time being. That will hold that. There we are. Stop that from opening, but still be openable if I need it to be, ultimately. So, one wooden sleigh from a cheap shop. It's not particularly well made, but that's okay. So let's do a little bit of shenaniganing and decorating. My lovely gardener has got to the outside of. Let's not use a nice brush. Let's just use one that is moderately clean. Having said that, did I throw out half of my brushes the other week? Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. Of course I did. No, let's use one of those. So this is the ebony leather gel, which is a stain. So let's just give this a little bit of a cover. It might take a while to get this done, but it will let the natural texture of the wood shine through. But again, just because I'm using a Lesurr gel, you could use one of your antiquing gels to do this. But you could just as easily get your paints out and do it, paint it. There isn't a right, there isn't a wrong in any of this, and don't let anyone try and convince you that there is. There's very few things in this world that are absolutely have to be one way and only one way. There we are. Now we might just got lots of areas here that are going to need to be painted, but so bear with, but that will allow those pieces to dry that I've already got, and you'd be surprised at what a layer of extra paint will do to your pieces. So let me just come into here, because pieces have to be finished, don't they, properly. There we are. But I thought sled runners needed to be darker than the base. There we are. Lots of nooks and crannies, because why would I pick something that was easy, because that would be far too simple to do that, wouldn't it? Yeah, of course it would. Of course it would. Here we are. There you go. Do the runners in a different colour, and I am going to for the surface of them, that's for sure. Ooh, there we are, stuff falling from one roof onto the conservatory, but hey ho, there we are. And this will sink in. It's a wood stain, so you could just go to your local DIY store, couldn't you, and buy some wood stain. That will work just as well, I reckon. There we are. So has everyone else got everything they need done, or are you still in the midst of the Christmas mayhem panic? Have I got for X, Y and Z? Do I need to do? Have I sorted all the food? It's a roast dinner at the end of the day, isn't it? Okay, made more special because you're likely to have family or extra people around for many of us, but not for everyone. There we are. Let's just cover this. Right. Eek. Don't know why I always pick big projects. I never do something little and tiny, do I? So, it's just not in my nature to do that. I think the sleigh will look a lot less rustic when it's been stained. So it wasn't particularly well finished, and that's okay, because I knew what I was going to be, that I was going to be altering it. going to run out of hands in a minute, because you do, don't you, when you're doing things like this. So I like this, and it's described as ebony, is the serge, but it's definitely got a blue undertone. Which works for me for this. Let's try and catch the bits that we've missed, because it's textured, it's not always so easy. Here we are. Oh, I do apologise, I know I have just walloped that camera, and hopefully it hasn't made too many of you too seasick. Yeah, we'll tackle the bits that we can get at easily. We're not going to worry about the bits we can't necessarily so easily get to. Some of it will get covered anyway, so it won't matter. There we are. I'm going to pick a different colour anyway for the top. You can do a little bit of dry brushing of it down over the sides. There we are. Yeah. I have to say that I really struggled with the camera for this one, because it's a big piece and it was never going to be terribly easy from a camera perspective. We can always have a tidy up once everything else is in place anyway. So there we are, with a little brush, maybe off the life, but there we are. Yeah. We're getting there. Oops, I apologise. I just need that stood up there for the time being to make my life easy. That's while we do this last bit. Cover the bits that we've missed on the other side. It's the headache, isn't it, with multi-dimensional pieces or multi-sided pieces. You then have to wriggle it around, and then you find all sorts of bits that you haven't covered. But it's amazing what bit of snow paste or white dry brushing and things will do. Covers a multitude of sins. Yeah, so hopefully that now, yeah, that's beginning to look a little bit less rustic, more sleigh-like, I hope. There we are. We just need this how I can always come back in, add some extra at any stage. If we get most of it covered in the meantime. That will work for me. It'll sink in anyway, and it will look patchy because it's going to pick up the different tones naturally in the wood. Right, eeny meeny. The set came from B&M Bargains. Yeah, because it just has to be done, doesn't it? I mean, there we are. So this is a softer, it's actually called Country Blue, but I think it's got a grey undertone, but is a bit brighter. You can see where I'm going, but I definitely know that I have a love of natural colours, and it will cover. Some of that's going to get covered anyway. There we are. So I definitely suggest that in the immediate run up to Christmas you have a look at B&M, see what they're doing in their sale of their Christmas stuff in the week before Christmas, because it'll go on sale fairly soon. Same for the range, they'll have a whole any of the cheaper pound shops that have Christmas things, and then you can pick up. Well, it's been sitting on the side. No problem, Dee. No problem. Right, let us give this a little bit of a blast dry, because that is now what's required. Put that over there. Because I need to build up my composition on here, and that requires a dry base. You'll be making a visitation. Yeah, it's worth it. Absolutely. I often will stash things from, if you want, my darling, we can go to the range and Home Sense and B&M Bargains. They're all in the same sort of vicinity, my darling. I agree, Glynis. I think we are both as bad as each other, except that I'm actually quite good at not buying stuff. But I'm quite good at getting other people to be tempted. But I would say use what you have. If you know that you're going to want to be decorating next year, buy pieces that's you in the sale. Things don't have to be expensive. They really don't. Just because it's got the label craft on it, and therefore someone sticks another £2 on it. I suppose that's better than the wedding industry, isn't it? When everyone sticks a nought on the end of it. But yeah, right. Let me just pop that over there. Pop that over there. Let's just have a little mop of the mucky mess. I know the base of that isn't completely dry, but it'll get another in a minute. So let's just take some of these. I just need a little bit of a dry brush with some white, and I've got the antiquing paint in white, so that will do. Any white will do. Let's just go for a nice soft fluffy brush. There we are. Soft fluffy mop brushes are really good for adding. There we are. Hey. I won't add too much to the White House because otherwise it'll, oh, the ones that have got the white on it, but to the dark blue, the blue and the dark blue, you can see that brush is picking up lots of paint. There we are, knock most of it off. And by holding my brush at the end and flicking over, there we are, that's working quite nicely, isn't it? Back and forth. And because I've got the brush held way over here, these are 12-inch long brushes, it means I'm getting relatively little pressure onto these pieces. I can just build that up, there by there by there. Flat. Just pick up the top pieces of there. It's amazing how much detail just adding some dry brushing does there. So I have used the Stamperia house silicone house mould and also the poinsettia silicone mould, my darling, today. Right, let's just pop that back into there. Pop that into there. Right, and then the fun will start. No, she doesn't, Stephanie, need any encouragement to buy. No, does any crafter need any encouragement to buy? You know, we're all absolutely as bad as each other. We are, so we are. Right, excellent. Let's just pop that over there. Now then. We need to put him up there. There is a plan. There is a method in the madness, I can assure you. Let's just go 1, 2, 3. 4. There we are. Let's just pop that over there, pop that over there. And I'm going to pop that so he's partly on, partly off. That will work. That will work, that will work, that will work. That one has to go there. No, it doesn't have to go there. That one is going to go there. Onto there. That one can go there. That can go there. That can go there. We did have all of these. I think we're actually going to pop that on the tilt. There we are. And that one can go on there. And that one can go there. I like it when a plan comes together. So, of course, having put it all on there, I've now got to take them these off to put these back on, wouldn't I? But hey ho. Gel medium? Of course not. Never mind. Never mind. Ugh. Let's just use some good old-fashioned pin flare. Because why? Because we can. There we are. So that can go there. Got lots of pin flare glue, so that's not going to be a problem. put that on the tilt. There we are. There we are. Let's just pop a big blob of that onto there. I wouldn't, Caroline. I have to say, I do use glue guns, but it's definitely wouldn't be my preferred option, my darling, under any circumstance. And I will say that over time, the pin flare will yellow, so you just need to be aware of that. But because it's so gloopy, it allows me to, it's going to allow me to almost have an immediate stick, which definitely has advantages when I'm doing projects like this. I think I'm going to pop that over there, and that one can go in there. There we are. Is it the same layout I'd initially planned? Is it, heck? But yeah. But that doesn't matter. There we are. So I have my little row of houses. I have my Santa tucked here. So we're going to pop those two onto there. These are not sided pieces, which is always a bit of a pain, but there we are. So that can go onto there, she says. There we are. She says, stick that over there. There we are. Okay. Let's just pop that. So I'm just going to stick that into there, because I think it's going to work better with that up there. And the joy of the glue gel, like the gel medium, is that I can lift these pieces up and under and over as I go, so that again just makes life good from that point of view. I'll just build a layered composition that we're happy with. There we are. Cool. She says, right, just bear with while I give this a little bit of a blast. And we'll add some splatters. Thank you. I definitely think it's more cost effective to do this with. Just need to. So you can leave this as it is in terms of hanging. That would work. Let me just pop it off to the side. that there. But I've actually got some ribbons that I think are good matches for the Santa. So let me just chop one of those. So let's just, we don't need, right, so let's just, and then we might just need a glue gun in a minute. So that can go into there, because that can then be used for hanging. There we are. And let's just take some of these extra pieces, and these are shabby ribbons from Old Fashioned Ribbons, which has a UK website. So there we are. So that's 3 lengths of different ribbon in my mucky mitts. Oh, let's just shuffle that lot all through into there. 1, 2, there we are. Hey, like it when a plan comes together, maybe, possibly. There we are. So we've got okay, 3, 4. Let's just maybe not have those quite so big. Let's pop that into there. And that can go onto there. So those can thing into there. And then let's just take our extra piece and pop that onto there. So we now have a nice shabby ribbon that will fill that space. That's going to look pretty on there. That's going to look pretty there. Let's just lid my glue. Now the only headache with the pin flare glue, and it's so worth doing it, is push out all of the air so you see a little blob, and then lid it. If you don't do that, it will dry out and you'll have a useless pot. So there we are. So that can then go on. So we've got little lights, we've got our little village, we've got that shining quite happily. That will work. And let's just add a little bit of splatter. And for that I'm going to grab a little fan brush. That's my favourite tool for splatters, and some white. It's just some white acrylic paint. Onto there. There we are. So there we have it. We have our Santa's sleigh using lots of distressing products. Let me just tilt it slightly, then you can see, I think we'll be able to see the whole piece. I move that a bit maybe. Let me just pop that all down there. There we are. Excellent. Hopefully you've now got a view of the whole piece. There's such a delay in the streaming at the moment. So that is my make for today. I hope that you found the whole process interesting, that you've enjoyed what's going on. I'm live for Pentart. Thank you, Robin. That's much appreciated. Thank you, Crafty Jazz. Thank you, Stephanie. Glad you all like it. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you, Liz. I will be Craft Enabler Extraordinaire on Friday when you visit. We'll go visit and look around. Thank you, Laurie. So I am back live for Pentart on Tuesday with a very, very different project, and then I am going to be live, I think, for Crafting Together with all brands on Friday, I will come up with something for next Sunday, though it is my birthday next Sunday, so I might just have the day off, or I might prefer to choose to spend it with friends, because I think my lovely daughter will be working. And then if you could let me know somewhere on the line what your thoughts are about lives between over the Christmas period. Last year I know I did Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Happy to do the same again. Would be morning lives though, maybe 10-11 a.m. So let me know if that's what you would like, and I hopefully will see you online soon. Marie, sorry Betty, but I'm just about to finish, my darling. So please, whatever you're doing, stay safe, look after each other. Remember, this is a season that's meant to be one where we find peace. Whatever you're doing, be kind to each other, and most especially be kind to yourself, because actually I think we quite often forget ourselves in the middle of all of the chaos of trying to keep everyone else happy at this time of the year. So please just be mindful of what's going on, look after yourselves, and I will see you online soon. Bye.